Previously on Stupid Beagle Reviews.
Nate, watch Gods of Egypt.
Are you my conscience or something?
It actually wasn't your conscience, it was me the whole time.
Come on, dude, you owe me after making me watch Gods of Crap.
Okay then, what movie did you have in mind, I guess?
Allegiant.
Yeah, sorry, I can't do that one.
Why not?
Because I've already seen that movie 5 months ago, actually, and I really don't want to watch it again.
How about this? I give you a lifetime supply of Anna Kendrick photos if you do it for me.
Okay, sure, I guess it can't be that bad. Yeah, it was great to be here. I enjoyed being in part of this review, and, just a quick, unrelated question, when exactly am I getting those, Anna Kendrick photos?
Wait, what's that? You're cutting out. I can't hear you. Like, what? You're cutting out. I can't hear you. Hello?
What are you doing?
Hello?
Nate, this is the oldest trick in the book. I know you can hear me. Nate!
Okay, bye! He's never getting those photos. Nope, I'm not watching that. Well, I'll just get back to Pokemon Sun now, the new Pokemon game. Just gonna play some of that. Ooh, I caught a Bulbasaur.
You make me feel so young.
Oh, somebody's
You make me feel so...
Hello? Nate? Dang it, not you again. What do you want this time?
Where are my Anna Kendrick photos?
Dude, that was 3 months ago. I thought you forgot about those. You still want those?
Yes!
I mean, you were the one that tricked me into watching Gods of Egypt, so why should I give those to you?
You're still upset about that? I mean, you promised you'd give me the photos when I did Allegiant with you, and I did, and you didn't give them to me, so where are they?
Well, frankly, that's not enough to redeem yourself. How about you review another bad movie with me, and then I'll give you them. Does that sound fair?
Are you kidding me? Are you serious right now?
If you don't, I'll probably just give them to somebody else, or I could just keep them for myself. Cause she's mine.
Damn you, Nate.
So you'll do it then?
Fine.
Mother's Day is a comedy that came out earlier this year, directed by Gary Marshall, starring Jennifer Aniston, Julia Roberts, Kay Hudson, Jason Sudeikis, and Britt Robertson, and other people are in this thing.
Mother's Day is a movie about nothing, but somehow has about 4 or 5 plots in there. Let's count them down. You have one about Jennifer Aniston whining about how her kids might like her ex-husband more, Timothy Oliphant. Then you have a plot where Julia Roberts is a TV personality with no children, and then another one where Britt Robertson is adopted and she knows who her real mom is, but she hasn't confronted her yet. Gee, I wonder how she and Julia Roberts might be connected in some way. I don't know. There's another plot about how Kate Hudson is married to an Indian guy, but she doesn't want her parents to meet him because they're kind of racist, and she's been hiding it from them for years. And then you have the plot where Jason Sudeikis plays a single dad because his wife passed away, and the drama relating to that.
It's a comedy film about mothers, basically, about random romance drama, and that's what this movie is.
And And if you've seen the trailers for this movie and saw that this was another Gary Marshall holiday movie like his Valentine's Day and New Year's Eve movie, you were probably like, I think I know how this movie's gonna turn out. And if you thought this movie was gonna turn out to be a giant piece of crap, then you're right. Now, disclaimer, me and Nate have no intention on bashing Gary Marshall as a person. As you know, he recently passed away, and that is very tragic. It's sad whenever someone dies, and we're not bashing him, we're just talking about this film, our commentary and opinions on the movie. I mean, making fun of someone's death is honestly really sick, and you'd have to be a really desperate, deplorable jerk-off of a human being to do that, but I don't think anyone's really done that lately, so nothing to worry about.
Guys, I honestly can't believe I'm reviewing this thing. I mean, I didn't know anything about this movie, basically. Just a lot of people had told me it was one of the worst movies of the year. A lot of my friends had told me it was a terrible movie. It's one of the worst of the year. But I hadn't really seen a lot of reviews of it. I only saw, like, the Rotten Tomatoes score and a few reviews, but, like, I didn't know anything about this movie, so going into it was an extremely weird experience. So guys, after watching this movie, I honestly don't even know what I can say about it. It's just one of those comedies that's so dumb and stupid, it has nothing funny in it. None of the characters are likable, they're all phoning it in, nothing's funny, and it's like, obviously in a review of a bad comedy, you're gonna say it's not funny. I mean, that's basically going to be the thing I'm saying throughout this review. If this review was summed up in a sentence, it would be, it's not funny. And that's what this movie is. Nothing in this movie is funny.
None of these plots are very intriguing, and none of the actors except for one really did anything good with this script. The only person I liked in this movie was Jason Sudeikis. In fact, if they made a movie only about him, maybe it could have turned out better. He was the only one who seemed like he was actually trying. I actually felt the most for his character. His kids, they could have used a little work, but if his kids were actually good characters too and they actually worked in a good drama, I think a movie just purely about that story could have worked.
And I was just watching this in awe because it was just an assemblage of random scenes that were like assembled together trying to be funny, and none of them worked. I mean, honestly. If you want to torture somebody, if you want to find a good way to torture somebody that did something bad to you, tie him up in the chair and force him to watch this movie, because that's a good torture device. All this movie is a muddled assemblage of the most unfunny scenes possible with half-assed performances and nothing in the movie being funny. Just the entire movie is just dumb jokes. Some of them are really offensive. Some of them are just awkward. Most of the jokes in this movie, I just felt awkward because I was like, how is that in any way supposed to be funny? Most of the jokes in the movie were like that, but there are a few really offensive ones that were just like, are you kidding me? This movie also has a very homophobic joke where Kate Hudson's mom and dad characters are like scared of Kate Hudson's sister character because she's a lesbian and she's with another woman, and it's just like they were mad because she was a lesbian, and it was just like, what's funny about that? I don't understand the humor behind this. I don't understand any of the humor in this movie.
Most of the humor is just characters whining and complaining, and that's not really funny. Jennifer Aniston, for example, her character is pretty much just to whine and complain that, oh, my kids might like my ex-husband who married like a 20-year-old. Oh, dang it, they might like him more than me. Why would anyone really want to watch a movie about a character who just whines the whole time? I wouldn't. There's even one moment where her character needs advice from a guy dressed up as a clown. And then they joke about it like, I just got life advice from a clown.
This movie does have several plots that are bunched together, like I sort of said, in a very messy way. And all of them are incredibly cliche. Like Jason Sudeikis' character, who has a dead wife, but he's also trying to make sure his daughter doesn't start doing stuff with a boy, and he's overprotective, and it's that cliche used again. It's literally like, why? Why does this movie even exist? Jennifer Aniston didn't care, Julia Roberts didn't care, Britt Robertson especially didn't care. I can tell that a lot with her, because there's a scene where she's literally crying, but she doesn't even seem like she's crying. It just looks like she's normal, but there's tears going down her face. I can't really describe it, but
Britt Robertson isn't the worst thing about this movie, it's just the thing with her and Julia Roberts is just very predictable. You don't need to watch the trailer to know that they're related, it's kind of obvious. You have Julia Roberts, putting on that fake TV personality attitude and acting like, oh, I've never had children before, I'm not a mom. Then you have Britt Robertson setting up how she knows who her mom is, but she's never confronted her about it. And you don't need to watch the trailer to kind of connect the dots like, I wonder if they're actually related. And then when it turns out they are, their plots kind of merge together into really sappy, trying to trick you into thinking it's a real feeling movie, but it's not. I guess that's one way to describe this movie. It's emotionally manipulative. They think they can try to trick you into feeling sad for these people, but it really doesn't work. Actually, I think this movie could have turned out to be a kind of sweet, emotional movie. Unfortunately, I just don't think it was executed properly, especially with its humor, which is not very good.
How many times have we seen these cliches done before? I mean, that's why I didn't feel like reviewing this movie, because it's just a bunch of cliches that have just been done so many times, and it's just done so horribly, and nothing about this movie has any life or humor or anything good about it.
Oh yeah, and one other obvious thing that's very obvious that you don't need to see a trailer for or know anything about the movie to know, Jason Sudeikis is a single dad and Jennifer Aniston is a single mom in this movie. I wonder if maybe at some point near the end of the movie they're going to meet up and become a thing.
Jason Sudeikis also really bad. I know Jackson said he liked him in this movie. I don't get why, because he has nothing funny to say and his performance was so lame. Every character in this movie just seems like a robot, and it's just a bunch of cliche stories about romantical drama that we don't even care about, because we don't care about any of these characters and we don't care about any of these cliches because they've been done so many times before. And it's just like, why did I waste my life watching a movie about a bunch of romantic drama? I mean, there's also racist humor in this movie, and a scene where Jason Sudeikis wants to rap, and a scene where Jason Sudeikis is in a fight with a guy and they're blowing each other's whistles because they're at a soccer game. This movie literally feels like the Star Wars Christmas special, except not watching a bunch of videos, just a bunch of random skits that are bunched together with several actors. That's literally what it feels like. It just feels like a bunch of different skits that are bunched together.
The worst part about this movie, though, is the plot with Kate Hudson and her parents. Now, Kate Hudson isn't horrible. In fact, I wouldn't say the majority of the cast is awful. It just feels like they're not trying, and the humor they're delivering just doesn't work. Kate Hudson's parents, however, whoa, they are the worst. And I mean the worst aspect of this movie. Whenever they showed up, they literally dragged the movie down. They're that awful. And I guess they were trying to have some character growth with them. At first they're kind of racist and homophobic, but then they grow as people when they interact with them again. But it just wasn't executed properly. They tried to work in some funny, awkward humor with them, and it just fell completely flat with cartoonish performances by them. The way they even wrapped that plotline up, it involves an RV, and that was also kind of stupid. The worst scene in this movie, though, involving them is the surprise visit they make when Kate Hudson's been lying to them for years, never mentioned that she's been married, and then all of a sudden they stop by, and she's like, oh no, my husband's here, and then you have my children, oh no! That is the worst. And I mean the worst scene in this movie. As soon as it was happening, I was like, oh no, please don't do this. Please don't do what I'm expecting you to do. And they did exactly that, and it was awful.
Another example of a really bad, dumb scene was when Jennifer Aniston, towards the end of the movie, gets her hand stuck in a vending machine and Jason Sudeikis has to help her. It's just like, why? Why do we have that in the movie? It's just, this movie is just so bad that I didn't even have motivation to talk about it, because it's literally just an assemblage of terrible, unfunny scenes, and it's one of the worst movies of the year. I know I don't seem really angry in this review, but it's just like what can I say about this movie? There's not much to say. So what should I give Mother's Day? Well, there's no redeeming qualities about this movie. All the actors are horrible. Each plot is cliche and annoying, and nothing's funny. There's literally not a single point that I laugh. I was just bored out of my mind while watching this movie and really angry and wanting it to end. There's no redeeming qualities, so I'm gonna give Mother's Day an F. I mean, that seems fair. There's nothing redeemable about this movie. It's literally just an assemblage of terrible scenes, and I was floored while watching this movie. I didn't even understand how this movie was made. I don't understand how anyone thought this would be a good idea. And I've never seen a movie like this, where it's just an assemblage of random skits. But they're done horribly. I don't even... Okay. Hopefully Jackson's segment is better than mine, because I can't think of much to say.
Mother's Day kind of sucks. It thinks it's better than it actually is, and it thinks that just because it has a strong cast that maybe you'll remember this movie, but in actuality, this movie is very forgetful. The messages don't really hit well, the humor kind of sucks, the acting is very bland, none of them feel like they're trying, except for Jason Sudeikis. So overall, I'm gonna give Mother's Day a D-.
So guys, if you liked my and Jackson's rant on Mother's Day, be sure to like this video, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and be sure to follow me on I Just Said That, and be sure to subscribe to Jackson's channel because, yay, he's good too.
Alright, now that I'm done reviewing that abomination with you, you better give me those photos.
Oh gee, sorry dude, I already gave them to somebody else.
Who?
I wonder what I should review from my channel today. Oh, shoot. Oh, it's a text from Nate. Hey, Tony, make sure Jackson doesn't get these. Oh. Okay. Well, I'll just go look at some Selena Gomez photos then. Do 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 do.